kick. Good morning, welcome to Morning Reviews. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 1st of September. What a lovely month September is, of course, because it's my birthday month and I expect small presents and large presents sent to... Anyway, right, looking at the euro dollar first then, and rolling over a little bit at the moment. We have got the new monthly pivots in. I always like these because quite often we tend to head for them quite early in the month, so as price is often quite close to them, and it is in this particular case. It's not far away at all. In fact, around about 45 pips away on the euro here. We'll look at though it looks a lot further. We've still got the weekly pivot untouched, which looks unlikely this week on the euro as well. So maybe with the way that the strong trend we're seeing on the euro, the weakness here, we'll see more of the same. Of course, we're really sitting waiting for the non-farm payrolls to come out tomorrow, and I think that may be the switcher one way or the other for the euro and the pound and so on. We'll see some dollar strength continue, or indeed, if it's a bad figure, we could see a lot of these currencies flying back up. So that's where we're standing today. We've still got some data to come out which may cause the euro to react quite quickly this afternoon. But for now, just looking at where we are on an hourly basis, and it's really, I mean, it's double top this morning in the earlier hours there, and it's rolling over again, and can't find too much positivity about it at all. Could be heading back down towards yesterday's lows, that S1 area. It'll be interesting to see if we get back down that way today, whether it'll actually break through. Now, any sort of rally and any positivity coming through, I would then be looking at the R1 and obviously aiming in the ideal world back towards that monthly pivot. But at the moment, really on the bearish side of the euro. Looking at the pound, well, the pound sort of walked its way back into its 50. I think it air kissed it in the first place back on the 26th of August, and it's now walked its way into it. So the very fact that the price was once higher than the 50, higher here when it was about to touch the 50, and now it's touching the 50, I don't think we'll necessarily get a particular reaction off of it. As you see, we've already been at the monthly pivot. The range was so tight, effectively, on cable in the last month that, it's near enough being hit. It looks like it's actually just slightly short of being hit. So we've already hit the weekly pivot, monthly pivot. Now, providing it stays above the monthly pivot, it's erring on the bullish side. And if we can get back above that weekly pivot, it was trying to do it yesterday. If we can get back up above that, well, we are a little bit more to the bullish side of things. In fact, you can see quite clearly here, it didn't quite catch the monthly pivot, so it would be nice to get that out of the way. The daily pivot's below us as well, so got to err towards the downside initially, but that doesn't mean to say it won't give us a platform for an upside. But for now, and short term, I'm sort of erring to seeing those levels hit. Not massive points. What's that? 42, 24 points ish, down to that sort of area. But need a signal before I can do it. So it's just waiting and see if we can get something. And we'll look on the shorter side there. But in the short term at the moment, you look at it, I'm just going to bring it out. I don't do this very often, but you look at the 5 minutes and it's just choppy as anything. Okay. That's the pound. Looking at the dollar yen. So looking at dollar yen, and it's still pushing and looking, erring on the more bullish side. I mean, again, we saw it yesterday or the day before yesterday, wasn't it? We saw that bull flag coming into play on the 4 hours. If you see more of that, well, I'd be more erring towards the upside on the yen. It sounds like the Bank of Japan, they want to do as much as all they can do to devalue and get back up in terms of softening the yen and increasing inflation. And it doesn't look like there'll be much they won't want to do soon. But again, it's still threats at the moment, but all the same, when they're in such mode, fighting talk, it maybe safer to be playing the upside. Well, we have got the monthly pivot below us, so I mean it's quite a chunk away if it was to start selling off. And again, this could be any bad news from the US. We could see then the dollar yen coming southwards, downwards towards the monthly pivot there. But as I said, it looks probably flatter here. And I mean, if you drew a line across the lows of this little point here, you may be selling back towards that hourly 50 and maybe beyond. The S1, of course, sits around about there and maybe heading back south. But I think it's a much better route to the upside. Oh, sorry, I'm just missing the Aussie dollar out. Goodness, what our Australian clients think. Okay, so pivot swing in place at the moment, but of course that's not confirmed until today's action is over. I've been relatively bearish on the Aussie dollar in the main because, well, just in the fact that over the last few weeks it's been in this sort of lower highs, lower lows situation. Yesterday put this sort of doji spinning top type candle in there. It could see us coming back up today, tomorrow towards the monthly pivot. Again, it's well, he's looking at 49.50 pips to get up there, so it's not a huge movement that we're needing to get to that level. The ranges are tightened up in these markets somewhat. Shorter time frame, well, yesterday summed it all up for me, and this is, I don't expect too much excitement today. I could be, of course, wrong. And we, in terms of numbers coming out today, we've got manufacturing PMI coming out in the UK and the US today. So both those figures could create some volatility. So just be watching it. Well, with the Aussie dollar, obviously it's the latter, the US figure at 3 p.m. So that could create some volatility and create some movement then. But at the moment, I've not liked it to be trading it. I think it's quite a bitty morning market particularly. So I'm just going to stand aside of the Aussie dollar. Personally, it's off my radar at the moment. Canadian dollar, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flick onto oil immediately. There we go. And look at what oil's doing now. It's putting in a bear flag at the moment. It's trying to get back towards its daily pivot. It may do. It's not many cents to get there at all. If it does, well, again, this could provide a sort of a resistance point, and we could see a rollover. That's if it makes it. It's not even made it back to its 21 yesterday. So if we can get back towards the 21, well, maybe we'll see the pivot run through in as well. But monthly pivot below, is that true? Monthly pivot below, it is. So there is a decent target to the downside, which in due course should push the Canadian dollar to the upside. And well, the Canadian dollar is, as with the pound and the euro, really taking the easier route at the moment. Well, I say more with the euro than the pound, and following a similar sort of plot. We've got the monthly pivot below us. I think at the moment, with if oil pushes down, we're more likely to see more upside here. But let's have a look at the dailies, sorry, the hourlies rather than now. The hourlies is drawing a little bit of a different picture short term here, and it's broken and given us a lower high in here. So maybe it's hit the daily pivot, not really having much reaction. If it doesn't, if it starts breaking down, we've got the 50 moving average below, and it may just strengthen a part way anyway. But in the main, to me, I'm remaining sort of on the bullish side of the Canadian dollar. But short term, it may be that I'll look differently. I'd like to see the monthly pivot out of the way early, but we will see. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you have a great one. I'll be back in the morning. Bye for now.